What's up? I'm Timmy Hayes. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I haven't posted a vlog video in a while. I was walking around and I was just thinking about a lot of stuff. So I'm back home now. It was really cold. It's really cold today. It's almost Christmas. It'll be Christmas pretty soon. At the end of my walk, I was thinking about music and how much music means to me. Music is a fascinating thing. It's literally the movement of air, and we create vibrations, and the vibrations carry, and when they go inside your ear, it vibrates inside your ear, and it creates signals in the brain. And it's an amazing thing that we can record that as digital signals, and it can be carried all across the world throughout time. It's a powerful thing. It's reaching deep within yourself, energy rippling into yourself and out and touching someone else, and it creates a signal inside them, and it transports a piece of you. There's an interview with Michael Jackson where he says it's all music to him. He loves all music. I agree with that. There's music created by hateful people. Like there's all kinds of racist propaganda, homophobic, whatever. Even Charles Manson wrote some good songs. I appreciate music in all its forms. Even hateful, shitty stuff, you can appreciate it in a technical perspective, but of course I don't condone things of a sexist, racist, homophobic nature. These are not values that I think are conducive to a more cooperative global society. So 2 weeks ago, I watched the 4th season of a cartoon called Big Mouth. I think I've probably mentioned it. Maybe I've mentioned it in a previous video, but I've read about this kind of, I don't want to call it a trick, but it's a technique in cognitive therapy where when you're feeling depressed or down, you try to think about things that you're grateful for. So like you can create a gratitude journal, and you write down daily like what you're grateful for. So in the cartoon, in the animation Big Mouth, they use several metaphors for depression and anxiety in the form of these like animals that follow these people around, and they create depression and anxiety with them. And then one of the characters meets the gratitude toad. So it's this really chill toad guy who like tells them to start looking around for what you're grateful for. So I've been trying that a lot lately. And I find myself in a state of I'm grateful for a lot of things. I live a pretty good life with a lot of freedom. I'm in a position where I get to do the thing that I love most. I'm not exactly recognized for it. I believe in what I'm creating. I believe that Charles Bukowski, a favorite poet of mine, he said once that he feels he's creating powerful stuff, and it's not going to be recognized until later in his life or when he's dead. And in some ways I feel that way, because I believe in what I'm creating, because I pour, like I'm digging into myself as far as I can go, and further sometimes, to try to connect to what it really means to live the human experience. And I'm expressing that as best as I can through visual and auditory creations. And it doesn't matter uh, if it's, if I'm rich or famous, things like that. These are all fleeting comforts. What matters is to be as human as I possibly can, because I'm a manifestation of the universe. I am a conglomerate of various substances and elements and particles come together to become a human. And in this fleeting moment, I am a conduit for experience. I input energy and I output energy, and all my life I'm doing that. So now I'm more conscious of it, and I'm creating Nina Simone, amazing pianist and singer. She has a quote. It goes something along the lines of, an artist's duty, a sole duty, is to reflect what is happening in the world around them. And I believe in that. And I'm doing that as best as I can with what's available to me. And I'm grateful for everything that's available to me. I mean, I live in a time where technology is fantastic. I'm able to solely on my own do things that people 20 years, 30 years couldn't do. Like with a laptop, you have access to almost a full music studio. You can get an interface, a microphone, and you don't even need a real instrument. You can use digital instruments. I mean, I like using real instruments too. I mainly use real instruments, but these days I'm switching more towards digital instrumentation because it's a whole universe of sounds. The one of the first vlog videos I posted was it's been a hard year, and it's been an incredibly difficult year, and for I think most of us in the world with everything going on. But so I want to talk about two things here. One is I find now I'm 27, so that means I'll be 30, in a couple years. And my brother said one time, I'm not going to go so much into detail of where this quote came from, but he said, it doesn't get better, but you get better. And him saying that, my own brother, that's actually stuck with me. And I'm finding that things 10 years ago, so for example, about 10 years ago now, there was a girl that I was really into, and things didn't work out, and I was devastated over it, and it stuck with me for years, like 4 or 5 years. I just couldn't forget her, and I couldn't get over it, really, and it was difficult. And a couple months ago, I want to say, so in Korea, it's called samtango. So like you're writing something, and that sounds kind of dirty. It's not dirty. It just means you have something with someone. So I wasn't together with this person, but I was, I had something with them, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was this kind of fantasy I was creating in my mind of a future with this person. Because reviewing it a lot in my mind, I'm like, we weren't really compatible, and the person wasn't a good partner for me, and obviously because we weren't compatible, I wasn't a good partner for them. I was very attracted to them, but it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, this isn't working out, and we should end this. So and we weren't in a relationship. It didn't go that far, but that was over a month and a half ago, and I found myself doing pretty much what I always do. It's called rumination. It's a symptom of anxiety where you it's like going around in circles where you think over and over the same things, like nothing new was being gained, and I was just making myself anxious and depressed, just going over these things that had happened, or like questioning myself or what I could have done differently, or like my self-worth or my value. And so I was on this walk today and I realized, like, but it's different than it used to be. Like 10 years ago, I used to, my instincts would switch and I would do the rumination and think about things over and over again. And I was kind of helpless. I didn't know how to control it. I was, how do you say this? A slave to my emotions. Like, my emotions completely controlled me. And emotions are like the ocean. They're always there, and sometimes there's storms, sometimes the tide comes in, sometimes it goes out. They're always there though. And what I realize now is I am the master of my emotions now. I mean, 10 years is, not that long of a time, but it's kind of a long time. So a lot can happen in 10 years, and I've realized, like, now I'm able to look at my life and say, I'm grateful for the things I have in my life. And yes, emotional pain and these things happen, and, ruminating on things happen. But, whereas 10 years ago, it took me years to get over a person, now I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to feel what I'm meant to feel, but staying focused on your goals and learning from the past, it's helped me so much now. So I want to apply that to a greater perspective on life, and things can seem pretty hopeless in society right now. There's a lot bad going on. I've heard people say things like humans will never get better, like things like racism and homophobia, things like that. Like they're like, oh, it's human nature, blah blah blah. It will always be shitty. I don't believe that at all. I believe that we are getting better, and we got to keep trying, and we got to keep coming together. And I'm not talking like peace and love and all that shit. I'm saying, like, we as humans have amazing cooperative potential. Like, it's mind-boggling what humans can do when we come together, we share ideas, and we work towards common goals, and we respect one another. This has nothing to do with, like, affection towards one another, but basic respect. Like, you respect a human being as a living creature deserving of the right to live to their full capacity without impeding on others' freedoms. So a paradox with freedom is that ultimate freedom for one individual means that you are able to assert your own power and will over others. That means, like, ultimate freedom, let's say for me, like, I have ultimate freedom. That means I could rape, murder, commit atrocities as I please, right? That's ultimate freedom. It's freedom to be bad if you want to, or be good if you want to, whatever. It's freedom to do whatever. Ultimate freedom is impossible in a physical sense because we are limited already by our physicality. Like, I can't say, like, I want to fly right now and start flying, just levitate in the air without any machinery or whatever. So in moralistic freedom, the problem lies within how do you balance group versus individual freedom. So we have this idea of asserting power over others, and one person's freedom being more important than another person's freedom. We can find a better level of freedom for the group. So people can exercise their maximum capacity of mobility within society without impeding on others. And a big part of that is now we are in an oligarchy of capitalism, and we're seeing nepotism in the government. We're seeing all around the globe, there's people in power who are unwilling to relinquish any bit of that power, and people are more acutely aware of it than ever before. The internet and smartphones are a big contributor to the awareness that people have about abuse of power and corruption. American politics is a great example, or the abuse of power by the police. Now, anyone with a phone can be like, and live stream these people who are supposed to serve and protect us abusing their powers. So with awareness comes responsibility. We are able to say, look, we have a problem here. We have people harming other people, and we can protect ourselves and prevent that from happening. So this takes a lot of thinking about and implementing these ideas. How do we fix society and set in systems in place where people can live better? And this is part of what's happening right now, and it's going to continue happening, and life is going to get better. I can't say exactly how. There's all kinds of ideas being tossed around. One good idea I saw was American police, when they're called, they have a social worker that goes with them for what do you call them? Like, I want to say, don't quote me on this, I could be getting it wrong, but non-violent crimes, or calls of a more mental health nature, because just police are not necessarily equipped to or properly trained to deal with everything that gets thrown at them. So I'm grateful for being in a position where I'm able to see that the world is getting better. Now, although I am grateful, being grateful doesn't mean being complacent or being ignorant to your position in life or unrealistic about things that are happening. I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry at the injustices that are happening to you or have kept you in a place of poverty or hardship, or people being shitty to you nonstop, and you just got to be grateful, right? No, fuck that. It's totally okay to be dissatisfied with things. And I find myself, although I have a lot to be grateful for, I'm dissatisfied with a lot as well. I want a lot in life. I'm pretty ambitious, and I want nice things. I want to meet good people. I want the best in life as far as I can get it. And I think that's what everyone wants. There's something to be said about letting that feeling go and finding happiness where you can get it. I mean, we can only take what is presented to us within reality. That's important to recognize, this is the reality of my situation, and I got to make the best of reality. That's being realistic. But reality is malleable. We are masters of our own devices. We've created the world around us. There's so much that humans can control. So I've come to a place where I am quite confident in my place in life. Better things are coming, is what I'm saying. But you got to work for it too. You got to work for better things to happen. And it's important to be strong, because life can really be shitty sometimes, and people can be shitty. But there's good out there. There's good people and good things. And it's good to learn from life and embrace life. I'm getting a little abstract now. I suppose my main point is there's a lot to look forward to. And I hope that your life gets better, and my life too, because I'm me and I want my life to be better too. And it has gotten better. And I'm looking forward to the next few years, and then hopefully my 30s as well. Hopefully I live that long. It's funny, like when I was a teenager, I thought I would be dead by 24. Just the way I was living, I was very pretty wild. Didn't really give a fuck about much. But now I find myself looking forward to life. Life is beautiful. Life has so many good things in it. And, it has bad in it too. But let's try to focus on the good. All right. Thanks for listening. And I hope that me talking about this has helped you gain some perspective. Peace out.